Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Nimisha Jadon from School of Studies Environmental Chemistry, Jivaji University, Gwalior. Today we are going to discuss about a module Methodology of Environmental Management under the paper of Environmental Biotechnology. The learning objective of this module included the introduction of environmental management system, then need of EMS, model of EMS, EMS stand for the environmental management system, then steps involved in the EMS and key elements of the EMS like ISO 14000 and environmental impact assessment. First of all, we have discussed about the environmental management system. The environmental management system, sometimes referred to as an EMS, is an apparatus of dealing with the effect of an organization practices on nature. It gives an organized methodology to arranging and actualizing environmental safety measures. EMS involves establishment of programs and monitoring and measuring progress to meet desired objectives and the targets. More formally, EMS is a tool that is used to study the impact of organization activities on the environment. It helps an organization achieve its environmental goals through the systematic, planned and the documented manner. It monitors environmental performance that helps an organization to increase its business efficiency and reduce its carbon footprint. An environmental management system helps sustainable business implement system that help reduces an organization impact on the environment while the improving operating efficiency. An EMS is comparable to a financial management system, but instead of measuring expenditure, income and the financial performance, an EMS helps an organization meet the sustainability goal, comply with the environmental regulation and improve health and safety of both employees as well as and the community. Environmental management system screens environmental execution like the way a money related administration framework screens use salary and empowers consistent checks of an organization monetary execution. An EMS incorporates environmental administration into an organization's everyday operations and long-term practices and the other quality administration frameworks. To create an EMS, an association needs to evaluate its environmental effects, set goals to help diminish these effects and arrange how to accomplish the targets. The obligations and reporting structure, both of which need to be dispensed to staff and administration to guarantee the environmental management system is actualized viable. An environmental impact is recognizable proof and documentation of the real and the potential environmental effects of an association's operations. This might be attained through undertaking an environmental review. An environmental review structures the premises of deciding an association's environmental goals and targets. An association can find a number of benefits by doing regular environmental reviews and by constantly changing how they are doing things. An environmental plan is an announcement of what an association expects to attain from an EMS. It guarantees all environmental exercises are reliable with the association's destinations. Environmental management plans will outline the systems and methodology which an association will use to reach its destination. Reviewing environmental goals to analyze its environmental impact and continuous improvement of environmental performance is one of the important feature of environmental management system. Now we discuss about the EMS model, the PDCA cycle. That is, an EMS follow a plan, do, chat, act or PDCA cycle. The process of first developing an environmental policy, planning the EMS and then implementing it. The process also includes checking the system and acting on it. The model is continuous because an EMS is a process of continual improvement in which an organization is constantly reviewing and revising the system. This is a model that can be used by a wide range of organizations from manufacturing facilities to service industries to government agencies. Now we discuss about the EIA methods. The word process evolved from the Latin word that is procedure, which originally means move or go ahead. The word form was followed by the noun processes, which is translated as process and means a series of action, phases or events, development in any direction or form and transformation, that is input to output of anything taken under the consideration like element, structure, subsystem, system, etc. A process approach has the advantage of permanent managing of link between the particular processes within the process structure, which is the structure element of the management system, and the combination and the mutual interaction of these elements. When applied in the EMS context, this process approach underlines the importance of the following. Number one, understanding and meeting of interested parties' request, then need of supervision of EMS in value-added condition, then achieving the results of EMS and its efficiency, and permanent improvement of EMS based on impartial estimation. Now we discuss about the benefits of having an EMS. There are many benefits of having an environmental management system, including the ability to help organizations. Number one, minimize environmental impact, then reduce waste, reduce energy cost, make the most of the available resources available for the system, then the improve corporate images and performance and the profit, improve compliances, increase employees' understanding of the importance of environmental concerns and the extent of their own individual actions. Implementation of an environmental management system requires the following steps to be completed by an organization. Number one, development of an environmental policy that reflects its commitment, then appointment of a persons responsible for its coordination, then identification of how the organization interact with the environment, then identification of actual and potential environmental impacts, then identification of relevant legal and other requirements, then establishment of environmental objectives, targets and programs, then monitoring and measurement of progress to achieve its objective, then reviewing the system and environmental performance, and continuous improvement of the organization's environmental performance. By designing the system and the environmental performance run in a continuous improvement cycle that is outlined in this diagram. Here the diagram shows the environmental policy is prepared by the top management that is committed to regulatory compliances, pollution prevention and continuous improvement. Then after that the planning phase is coming, where the identify environmental interactions and the significant aspects, like identify legal and other requirements, then develop environmental objectives, targets and the program in which to achieve them. Finally, they are coming into the implementation and operation phase, where the defined structures of responsibility, identify and the complete training needed, and establish communication procedure, document and EMS through the policy, plans and procedure, then establish document control, establish operation control and implement emergency preparedness and response. Finally, it comes in the phase of checking, where the monitor and measure environmental interaction is carried out by evaluate the compliances, establish a non-conformance, corrective action and the preventive action system, maintain records and perform periodic internal audit of the EMS, and finally it goes in the management review. The top management to review the environmental performance, EMS performance, policy priorities and objectives, and recommend the improvements, which again amended as an environmental policy of the system. The steps to be considered including the gain management commitment, then choose a champion, then prepare budget and schedule, build cross-functional team, involve the employees, then conduct preliminary review, modify plan, then prepare procedures and other documents, then plan for change, then train employees and assess performance. The first step in the EMS building process is gaining top management's commitment to supporting the environmental management system. The management must understand the benefits of an EMS and what it will take to put an EMS in place. The management commitment and vision should be clear and communicated across the organization. Not all small or medium-sized organizations have the luxury of choosing among multiple candidates, but your choice of project champion is critical. The champion should have the necessary authority and understanding of the organization and project management skills. The champion should be a system thinker. Some ISO 9000 experience would be a plus, but is not necessary, and must have the time to commit to the EMS building process. The project champion should prepare a preliminary budget and schedule for developing the EMS. The cost will likely include staff and employee time, training, some consulting assistance, materials and possibly some equipment such as computer or word processor. A team with representation from the key management functions and the production or the service areas can identify and assess issues, opportunities and existence processes. You may want to consider including contractors, suppliers and other external parties to be part of the project team where appropriate. This team will need to meet frequently, especially in the early stage of the project. The cross-functional team can help to ensure that the procedures are reasonable and will build commitment to the EMS. Employees are a great source of knowledge on environmental and health and safety issues related to their areas, as well as on the effectiveness of current processes and procedure. They can help the project team in drafting procedure. The employee ownership of the EMS will be greatly enhanced by meaningful employee involvement in the EMS development process. It conduct preliminary review, then modify plan, then prepare procedure and documents, then plan for change, then train employee, and finally assess the EMS performance. The next step is to conduct a preliminary review of your current environmental programs and the systems and compare these against the criteria for your EMS such as an ISO 14001. Evaluate your organization's structure and its procedure, policies, environmental impacts, training programs and other factors. Then determine which elements of your current system are in good shape and which need additional work. The project plan might need to be modified based on the results of the preliminary review. The modified plan should describe in detail the key actions needed, who will be responsible, what resources are needed, and when the work will be completed. At this point, you are ready to develop procedures and other system documents. In some cases, this might involve modifying existing environmental procedures or adapting other business procedures such as quality of health and safety management procedure for EMS purposes. In some cases, you might need to be develop new procedures, get help from the employees and the cross-functional team. While building an EMS, make sure that the system is sufficient flexible. While you will likely need to modify your EMS over time, try to avoid making EMS so rigid that you must change it frequently to reflect the realities of your operation. Once the procedure and the other documents have been prepared, then it is ready to implement the EMS. As the first step, train the employee on the EMS, especially with regard to the environmental impacts of their activities, any new modified procedures and any new responsibilities. After the EMS is up and running, be sure to assess system performance. This will be accomplished through periodic EMS audit and ongoing monitoring and measurement. Assessment of EMS performance provides the opportunity to improve the system and your environmental performance over time. The key elements of an EMS included that this section provides the guidance on how to build and implement an EMS. As mentioned earlier, the EMS should be built on the Plan, Do, Check, Act model to ensure that the environmental issues are systematically identified, controlled or monitored. Using this approach will help to ensure that the performance of EMS improves over time. This section describes the 17 EMS elements included in the ISO 14001 standard, ISO 9000 and the environmental impact assessment. Now the next that we have discussed here about the ISO 14001 environmental management system. While there are several good environmental management system models available, this guide uses the ISO 14001 standard as a starting point for describing EMS elements for several reasons. ISO 14000 is a widely accepted international standard for the EMS. Companies may be asked to demonstrate conformance with ISO 14001 as a condition of doing business in some markets, and the standard is consistent with the key elements found in most of the EMS model. The ISO 14000 shows that the company or the project is how much viable with the desirable environmental conditions, or it is less impacted, or it is a eco-friendly project which is not affect the existing environmental conditions. The environmental policy is necessary a part of this ISO 14000, which includes develop a statement of your organization commitment to the environment. Use this policy as a framework for planning and action. Next is the environmental aspects. Identify environmental attributes of your products, activities, and the services, and determine those that could have significant impact on the environment. Legal and other requirements also identified and ensure access of relevant laws and regulation and other requirements to which your organization adhere. Now we discuss about the elements of an ISO 14001 EMS. Number one is objectives and the targets. Establish environmental goals for your organization in line with your policy, environmental impacts, views of interested parties, and other factors. The next is the environmental management program. Plan action to achieve the objectives and targets comes under the environmental management program. The third step is the structure and responsibility. So for that, establish roles and responsibility and provide resources for the particular team to implement this ISO 14000 in a system. Then next step is the training, awareness, and the competence. Ensure that your employees are trained and capable of carrying out their environmental responsibilities. The next step is the communication. Establish process for the internal and the external communication on the environmental management issues. And next step is the EMS documentation. It means maintain information on your EMS and the related documents. Then the document control is the next step. Ensure that the effective management of the procedure and the other system documents. The next step is the operational control. In this step, identify, plan, and manage your operations and activities in line with your policies, objectives, and the targets. And the next step is the emergency preparedness and the response. Identify the potential emergencies and develop procedures for preventing and responding to them. The next step is the monitoring and the measurement. Monitor is the key activities or monitor key activities and track the performance of applying this ISO 14001 in your organization. Then the non-conformance and the corrective and the preventive action is the next step. Here, identify and the correct problem and prevent recurrence is carried out in this step. And finally, the next step is the records, which keep adequate records of the EMS performance. Then the EMS audit is performed periodically to verify that your EMS is operating as intended. And then management review is necessary periodically to that review your EMS with an eye to continual improvement. ISO 14001 requires an organization to develop an environmental policy with a commitment to compliance, have a procedure for identifying and having access to environmental laws and regulations, set objectives and targets that are in line with its environmental policy, which includes a commitment to compliance, then establish operational control procedure and establish procedure for emergency preparedness and response, and establish a procedure for periodically evaluating compliances. Now we discuss about the environmental impact assessment. First of all, what is EIA? The environmental impact assessment is defined as an activity designed to identify the impact on the bio-geophysical environment, on man and well-being of legislative proposal, projects, policies, operational procedure, and to interpret the communicate information. EIA is the systematic process of identifying future consequences of a current or the proposed action. The purpose of is the purpose of it is to identify and evaluate the potential impact, either it will be a beneficial or adverse, of development and the project on the environmental system. It is an useful aid for decision making based on understanding of the environment implications, including social, cultural, and aesthetic concerns, which could be integrated with the analysis of the project cost and benefits. This exercise should be undertaken early enough in the planning stage of projects for selection of environmentally compatible sites, process technologies, and such other environmental safeguards. While all industrial projects may have some environmental impacts, all of them may not be significant enough to warrant elaborate assessment procedure. The need for such exercises will have to be decided after initial evaluation of the possible implications of a particular project and its location. The environmental impact assessment include those which can significantly alter the landscape, land use pattern and lead to concentration of working and service population, those which need upstream development activity like assured mineral and forest products supply or the downstream industrial process development, those involving manufacture, handling and use of hazardous material, those which are sited near ecologically sensitive areas, urban centers, hill resorts, places of scientific and religious importance, and the industrial estates with constituent units of various types which could cumulatively cause significant environmental damage. Environmental impact statement should contain the following information or data, that included description of the proposed action like construction, operation and shutdown phase and selection of alternatives to the proposed action, then nature and magnitude of the likely environmental effects, possibility of the earthquake and cyclones, possible effects on the surface and the groundwater quality, soil and air quality, effects on vegetation, wildlife and endangered species, economic and demographic factors, identification of relevant human concerns, noise pollution, that is efficient use of inputs. Now discuss here about the EIA methodology. Whenever a new development project is planned which is likely to affect environmental quality, it is necessary to carry out EIA, that is environmental impact assessment procedure. The first step in EIA method is to determine whether the project under consideration follows the jurisdiction of the relevant acts and regulations, and if so, whether it is likely to create a significant environmental disruption. If so, an EIA is undertaken and the environmental impact statement is prepared. In many countries, environmental impact statement is open to public security and is reviewed at public hearing. Finally, a political decision is taken. The development project may be accepted or accepted with amendments, or an alternative proposal is accepted or rejected. Here we have discussed about the 6-step processes of environmental impact assessment, planning and management, that included development of conceptual approach for the project development. The next step is the proposal development. Third step is the interdisciplinary team formation. Fourth step is the selection of a team leader. Fifth step is the system management formation. and finally fiscal control on all over the activities carried out for environmental impact assessment. This figure shows the conceptual approach for the project development. The initial is the number one procedure is the PDN, that is project description need, that what kind of environmental factors are required for the project is described here in this section. Then IPI is the institutional pertinent information. It means whatever the legal requirement is necessary for the project development is associated at this step. Then third step is the IPI, that is identification of potential impact, where the whatever the activity of the project is carried out and what kind of potential impact has been depicted on the environmental existing condition. The next step is the DAE, that is description of affected environment. It means here we have write all the indices and indicator of the environment which is affected by the project activity. The next step is the impact part, where the number one procedure is carried out, that is impact prediction, where the experts are predicted the potential impact of the project development or operational on the environmental condition. And the next step is the impact assessment, that how much amount of destruction or destroy of the environmental elements carried out during the project development. And finally the third step is the impact mitigation, that in this step the experts give their mitigation procedure or the technology development to mitigate such kind of potential impact of the project on the environment. Then it is passes through the next step, that is decision making, where the selection of the proposed action will be carried out, so that here it is considered that the project proposal should be proposed when by keeping the view of the environmental safety of the environmental protection. And finally when after the decision procedure it is passes through the documentation, where the prepared written document is prepared, as well as the environmental monitoring system is also prepared to manage all type of development in the project during and after the project implicated. So at the end of the student, we can summarize this module that we studied here about the environmental management system, methodology used for the EMS, its need and key elements. Then we also discuss here about the ISO 14000 and environmental impacts assessment is that are the main two key elements of environmental management system. Thank you so much.